Hey. What do you say, Frankmeisters? What's going on, all you damn night owls? And I got nerve to say that shit because I'm a night owl myself. What's going on, peoples? Thought I was getting bored as hell, and I was like, man, I'm going to do a live. Let's just have a chat tonight, laid back, calm, collective, and see what everybody's up to. And I know some of y'all watched the Facebook Live earlier with the information about Kathy Allen. Something that I knew about, but I held back on saying anything because Ivy Push is the one who actually spoke to Kathy Allen. So I'll let her handle that, but we'll get to that. So, what else do y'all want to talk about? So we got Michelle Salwa. What's going on, Randy? SP74. Sufa. SP. Louise. Crime Gesture. Rescue. You're supposed to be just listening in. Boston, what's going on? Gibbo, what's going on, buddy? Miss Deb's True Crime Notebook, one of my other favorite friends and ladies of mine. Heather Marie, what's going on? D. Ashley, do you know that one of your Facebooks got hacked? Peace Train. Mevin. Jason Voorhees. Piper's Dream. What's going on, Frosty? You cheating at work? What's going on, Kelly O? TLS, good to see you. Wild card. How you feeling today? I know you weren't feeling so well last night. Yeah, because I remember you in the chat last night. Yeah, I kind of figured. You're a supervisor. You get to do that stuff. Lord, there's Fig. What's going on, Fig? Hey, man, you know I gave you a shout out. Where did he go? There he goes. You know I had to spill the beans last night, bro, after what I heard you were being accused of. You know, so I had to set the record straight. I know they were watching, but I'm the one that gave him the fig. Shit, bro. Late night, bored. Notre Dame lost to a small school today. Yeah, that's very unusual for me, isn't it, Corey? But it's all right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I got a weird Facebook Messenger message from that account. And I'm like, hold on, I know this isn't D. Ben, good to see you. Keeping your eyes peeled. What's going on with you? Wow, I'm really surprised this many people came out tonight because I know Slew's covering the shooting in Kentucky right now. But y'all, what do y'all want to talk about? You guys want to talk about what was discussed on the Facebook Live? Because I'm ready to talk about. I'm good, Crime Jester. Been watching football all day and just watched a little bit of UFC. A typical Saturday night. Oh, the podium. Yeah. when I saw the invoice for that thing and I said, what the hell? And then I got the story behind it. I don't know how legit it is, but the story I was told is they bought this new podium allegedly for audio for the trial. That's what I was told. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what I was told. So I would just consider it a rumor until I can validate it. Yeah. Michael Myers. Got his head cut off. I'm reading through the chat. At the last hearing that was closed in the early afternoon, it was supposed to be open to the public, but ended up getting closed to the public also. Ivy Push, she runs a Facebook group. She had a little discussion or run-in with Kathy Allen, and she asked Kathy, I guess Kathy was upset. I'm not really sure the whole circumstances behind the run-in, and she asked Kathy if she was doing okay, and she said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not married anymore. It's not about me. It's about Janice now," which is Richard Allen's mother. And I know the last few times at the hearings, she has not had a wedding ring on it. A lot of people have seen that and they were questioning it. So this could be an indication that she is basically turned her back on him, because it looks like she's starting to believe the confessions, and stuff like that. So, and people like, well, why is she there for Janice? Well, Janice don't have anybody else. That's Richard's mother. You got to understand, the mother's always going to have her child's back no matter what. So the closest person to her would be Kathy. So I mean, I don't know how true. I mean, I believe every word that comes out of Ivy Push's mouth, but actions speak louder than words. We're just going to have to wait and see Kathy's actions here in the next few months. He dead, Jason. His head got cut off. Yeah, I saw somebody put in here that I'm dreaming transcripts. You just don't know. Paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. It's all I think about. Miss Deb, how are you doing tonight? Surprised to see you up this late on a Saturday. Chris Owens, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, right. SP74. What the heck was that about today? They looked terrible. I thought Michigan looked terrible against Texas today, but Notre Dame blew them out of the water. Yeah, I don't want to hear it, Crime Jester. But how did you like that IU spanking they gave to Western Illinois yesterday, 77-3? And what's that? What do you want to talk about, Sufa? I mean, I can tell you my experiences of at all the hearings that I've been to, and Kathy's been there. At the very beginning, the very first hearing, I seen a lot of emotion out of Kathy. As the months went by, I've seen less and less and less, and now that more information about the confessions and things like that, it sounds to me that now that she's basically opening her eyes and convinced it is her husband that did this heinous crime. What's going on? Jerry Holman and Nick are very upset with me. I forgot to clock out after today's shift working with them. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I love how these other specific creators saying that we're working for the prosecutors and for LE. I sure in the hells don't see it come in my pocket at all. All right, Jason, we're going to talk about that. What's going on, Scarlett? Good to see you. It's a private group. You have to get an invite or join and see if they'll let you in. I can tell you the name of it, and that's it. It is Delphi Murders Case Discussion and Fact Checks. Yes, they're public record. Trust me, I've already looked. Nothing's been filed yet. Misty Free Spirit, good to see you. Yeah. You can talk about Michael Myers when Halloween's here, because I'm sure everybody will be online on Halloween. I really don't know. I mean, I've spoken to Carter a couple times. I don't know if he has. Yeah, that Tennessee game, they're blowing out whoever they're playing. North Carolina State. Oh, thank you, Misty. That's so sweet of you. It's not an interview, Chris. It was just out in the parking lot or out in front of the court, by the courthouse, walk like a run-in with each other. There was no interview. It's hard to say. Who knows, man? Because 1 minute one thing's being said, and then he comes back and debunks everything. So I really don't know. I don't pay attention to that channel, and I don't pay none of that any of that drama over there. I would imagine if it's true, like I said, I trust everything that comes out of Ivy Push's mouth. And like I said, actions speak louder than words. We're just going to have to see what happens from here. And if it's true and she did change her mind, I would imagine about all the confessions. That's what I would have to say. And knowing intimate details of the crime and the crime scene. I would be shocked if Kathy, no way she didn't know that it was her husband in that video and she still laid down with him. And Snay was trying to smash. I don't know Rick just like I don't know him like that. He's been to my house a couple times to pick me up when we were heading to Delphi or whatever, but that's as far as it went. I didn't hang out with him outside of my house, none of that. Now that the defense can't use the Odinism or third-party theory, I wonder if they're finally considering a plea deal. I mean, it's always a possibility, Chris. But like I said before, and I'm going to stick to this until they show me totally different. I think it's all about them. It's about their image. It's about the book deals. It's about miniseries, on Netflix or whatever, Dateline, whatever it could be, I don't think it was ever about Richard Allen, because in the very beginning, at one of the hearings, Rosie admitted to Richard Allen making derogatory statements as far as being involved in the case, and tried to say that it was mental crap that was going on with him. In the very beginning, he admitted that, and that's what opened the door to the confessions. So he knew something more than what we knew. But like I said, they got to be defense attorneys, and they're doing their job. We might not like what they're doing, but they're doing a hell of a job to delay. or do whatever they can to try to convince the jury that it wasn't Richard Allen. But the evidence is stacked up against him. I mean, there's no way around the confessions. There's no way around the bullet. There's no way around his own words being at the trails, being on the bridge, seeing the three preteens at the Freedom Bridge or on his way to the Monon High Bridge. You know, there's no way around that stuff. Beach Girl says, Frank, I listened to the live on Facebook. I was blown away when she said Kathy told her she believed Ari's confessions and her marriage is done. I mean, it was a matter of time. A matter of time before she really let it sink in and opened her eyes and realized it is my husband. I mean, I understand everybody's feelings in the beginning. How could she have not known? When you're with a man for 25, 30 years, you don't want to believe something that is being pinned or something in this magnitude against your husband, because she probably never seen anything of that magnitude come out of her husband, the anger or whatever it might be. I mean, from the videos and everything I've always seen between them two, it seemed to me that she's the one that wore the pants in the family. That's just how I was perceiving it. You know, like when they would go on trips or on horseback or whatever, she would tell him to be quiet, wouldn't let him talk or anything. Why was she doing that? And see, Gibbo, my opinion, Snay is making a mistake, fucking around with Kathy Allen, whatever it was going on there. Tony Klein, the whole works. He should have been neutral, plain as day. But then again, I got people that say to me, well, you're in close with the family, but they're not directly involved in the case. Kathy Allen is. Tony Klein was, because he was a person of interest at one point in time, him and his own son. They were looking at both of them. Yeah, too much damn drama in these communities. And I keep seeing on one accusing that, I mean, working for the family, working for the prosecutor, working for law enforcement. Give me a break, man. I don't think so, SP, because she sold the house, and I know she got a big chunk out of that. 6 digit, at least 6 digits. Yes, that's what I believe it was. They parked right there by the post office, because that's where Ivy always parks. It's hard to say. I mean, she might have known and hit it very well, because, like I told you at the very beginning, when all the proceedings started with him, I had been to every hearing except for one, and that was the last day of the 3-day hearings. I just couldn't get there because no sleep. And I saw the emotion out of her the first few times, and as the time went by, I seen less. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but it could mean something. Right, Deb. I checked it out. She said she wasn't officially divorced, but was no longer married to him. It says she's not divorced yet. I don't believe it's a really, really terrible situation. Already destroyed so many. Of course. Okay, we're done talking about Snake because that's not what I'm here about. Okay, Jason? Hold on. What are you talking about, Peace Train? Was it her voice or was she typing? I got to go back here. Okay, I see. Okay, she said it to Ivy Push and a couple other people that were present at the actual hearing when she was outside. That was on the Friday for the closed part of the hearing, and then it's supposed to be for the public in the afternoon. That's when it all took place. I was there that day, but I was not around. I don't feel comfortable trying to approach her yet. My heart goes out to the families of Abby and Libby first and foremost. However, damn, that would be tough to find out the man you loved and raised a family with was a monster and you had no idea. Yeah, I mean, honestly, she's a victim also. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people questioned how could she have not have known? You know, I mean, we didn't even know. We can't tell that by that picture. But with the voice, it's questionable if she recognized it or not, because you got to remember that audio is just a little bit of distortion in it, and things like that. So tell that to the other side, Frank. If these people would let out right. They don't listen. It's all about the clicks to them. If they could get some way to change the narrative just a little bit to draw the attention to their channel, that's all they'll do. See, now what they're flipping out, once they hear about this, they're really going to start tripping. You know, Chris, we don't know all the evidence against Richard Allen. We've only been given a tad bit of evidence that they have. It's not no telling what Nick's got on him. You know, that's their job. It's their job to cast doubt. Oh yeah, they believe that he's going to get. I guarantee their mindset is that when this goes through the appeal process, if and when he's convicted, that he's going to get a new trial. I guarantee that's what their mindset is. Yeah, I mean, she's given me dirty looks many a times in the very beginning, but as time has passed, I haven't really got any looks from her because I sit directly behind her at all the hearings. I try to eavesdrop on the conversations between her and the attorneys and things like that, but they're so quiet about it, I can't hear a damn thing they're saying. I mean, my understanding, they were high school sweethearts or started dating right out of high school or got married right out of high school, something to that effect. I didn't really do a whole thorough thing on that family. I did a little scoping about Richard a little bit. I knew that he had a sister, but I didn't know he had three brothers and two sisters. Because the only reason why I knew about one sister because she was at one of the hearings in Allen County. I think that the fact of the matter is just the reality is starting to hit her, and she's starting to loosen up to the people around her. I mean, if she was willing to speak to Ivy Push, that's telling you something. Yes, Deb makes hellacious videos, man. I'm telling you, she does a great job. And if any of you guys haven't went over her channel and subscribed, liked, or whatever, please get over there and do that. Deb, if you want to post your link in the chat, go ahead and do so. Well, I do know for a fact the last witness list of the prosecution that was out from the prosecution, she was on the witness list. at that point in time. And that was back probably last February, I believe it was, somewhere in there. But look at who's in the house. Cold truth. And, you know, and you might be right, Louise, but I haven't really sought out to get to know who she is because she's been so private since this is all taking place. You know, I don't know if she's shut down her Facebook or what she's done, or she's under another name or something in that nature. So, I mean, I did have her cell phone number at one point in time, but there was no way I was going to use it. No way. Miss Jamie Hicks, good to see you. Message to check on you the other day. I didn't get a response, so I'm glad to see you're in the chat. Like I said, Jason, please, we're not talking about him. He's a nothing burger, to me at least. I've got the name of the lady who bought the house. I believe she's a doctor of some sort. Miss Laura, good to see you. Yeah. She kept putting her head down and kind of shaking her head. Yeah. Miss Nixon, it's good to see you. I'm not in shock, Scarlett. I mean, this is something that a lot of us have been waiting on to hear, honestly. You know, everybody, like I said just a little bit earlier, a lot of people were questioning how in the heck did she not know that was her husband? And now that a lot more stuff has come out about the confessions, besides the one that he has made to her and his mother, you know, and the letter that he written to the warden, reality probably just now smacked her in the face and said, damn, it is my husband. I didn't want to believe it before or back then, but now I do. I mean, I can't speak for Kathy, but if it was me, I was Kathy, that would be running through my head, honestly. Yes, Gail heard the video where she's walking up to the car. Yep. Yeah, you can see a little bit of a resemblance, but you can't really see Richard Allen's face, but just like the outline and the beard and stuff like that. Fig Solve says, Michelle, you mean nobody recognized the man that was wearing a scarf over his face? RA must be innocent. I honestly believe that something happened en route to the crime scene when he abducted them, crossing the river, whatever, or if they were at the crime scene, he came unmasked and the girls recognized him. I'm starting to believe that's what happened, and this is what the end result was. Looks could kill. Honestly, I can't really tell because her back's to me, and when he walks by, because I sit right on the aisle, when he walks by, he just turns his head and says, "I love you" to his mom and her. And like I said, Miss Nixon, I knew about it, but I just sat on it because it wasn't my place to say anything. I wanted the person who actually spoke with her to put it out there before I said anything or brought it up. I didn't know the intimate details of all of it, so that's why I just let her handle it from there. Well, crime gesture, the Gant, the gate or the Gant, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you've ever been on that bridge, anybody can have a Gant or gate, whatever. Trust me, I only walked out on about 5 or 6 planks, and it looks like I had a Gant because the unlevel postures of the ties and all that stuff on there. Brandon, bye-bye. You believe what you want to believe. I'm not arguing with you. I don't know who you are. I've never seen you before, but your opinions are always welcome. Frank, these people will turn on KA so god dang fast. Mark my words. Who will turn on Kathy? Hear about what? We're talking about the conversation that Ivy Push had with Kathy Allen at the hearing that was supposed to be open to the public. Man, that Karen Reed case is nuts. I watched a little bit of her interview last night. And they probably make more than that in their private practice, Gibbo. I would say they do make more than that in their private practice. $500, $600, $700 an hour or more. Fig says LE telling people to recognize the gate was incredibly dumb. That bridge had gap. That's exactly what I was just saying, Fig. Anybody could have a gate walking on that bridge. Cold truth, you are absolutely correct. She is a victim. I'd be there every day for mine and my children. Take a hell of a lot of an actual evidence for me to believe they are the one, like a trial when the state proves their guilt. I mean, she had every right to give me a dirty look. Dirty looks when we was in the courtroom in the first few hearings. Because all she's seen was YouTubers. And she knows YouTubers are talking shit about her husband. You know, and at that point in time, she was standing behind her husband. You know, and I get it. Good to see you, Carrie. They'll ask and they'll get the family's opinion. And they take it into strong consideration. But the final judgment is the judge. She's the final decision. Good to see you, Time Warning. Tiny, or is it Timmy Waring? I don't know what Kathy Allen meant by that. Rat out everybody. I don't know what she meant by that. I mean, she did say it. Due process gang is workshopping ways to make KA's life hell, as if it isn't already. The last time I saw Barb McDonald was at the Supreme Court hearing, and that's the last hearing she's been at, I believe. Because I haven't seen her in any other ones. Oh, they're tripping, Jason. You know they're tripping. If anybody doesn't have Deb's True Crime Notebook link, here it is. Please go over there and subscribe and like. Miss V. Marie, it's good to see you, ma'am. Been a minute. I'm reading through the chat. Yeah, Deb might know more about that, but I do believe the house sold for like 200-something thousand. But that's not telling, no telling how much they owed on it. But I'm sure she probably got a nice chunk of change. Well, good, Jamie. You need to start doing some videos. How you been doing? There you go, Beach Girl. I knew somebody knew about it. I knew it was still over 200,000. All right. Watch it, dude. See, Rescue even shared kind words with her. A lot of us are starting to loosen up and starting to realize that she's a victim in all this. I just haven't had the nerve to really approach her or talk, say something to her at all. Because I just don't know if I can. Right, and I believe that's the way I'm feeling. I'm just honoring her space and what she's dealing with right now, and I don't want to compound anything on her. Yes, Cold Truth. I've got Fig drafted up a summary for me on his transcripts. If you'd like a copy of it, just message me, and I'll get you a copy of it. Alan wouldn't even know. He doesn't have access to social media. They're not allowed to have that on those tablets. Hey, I've cut back a lot, Jason, because I've been hearing it from all my friends here in the chat. Yes, Mustang, very bored. After Notre Dame lost today, I was in the dumps. I said, then I started watching Ivy Push. And I was like, man, I feel like going live. I'm bored. Just have a Saturday night chat, see how everybody's doing. Laura says, I got to hand her respect that even if she's had an awakening, she cares so much about Janice. Well, yeah, I totally agree. Her mother-in-law, and that's all she's got left, you know, and her other kids, of course, but yeah. Brandon, he control all he wants. I've got enough mods in here to take care of him. It's just somebody that's jealous of a lot of the channels that are thriving right now. Robin B, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, I can't say much about Skip because of some shit that went down with him. No, Gibbo. I wouldn't say she's single. She's still married. Gail Hurd says justice for two precious angels, Abby and Libby, and the darling Flora girls. If you guys haven't been over to the YouTube channel, the Flora 4 Memorial page, please go over there and subscribe and like for me, please. I was at the bridge last November. Those railroad ties were half rotten, parts of them missing gaps. There's no way anyone could walk with their normal gait on that bridge. Exactly, Beach Girl. I didn't go all the way on it. I only went about 5 or 6 railroad ties, and I was like, nope, there's no way I can do this. Big Fish, good to see you. Big winner on Sluice channel for merchandise today. I mean, it might appear that way at the moment, but we really won't know until this gets to trial. It's possible that, I mean, and like I said before, and I'll keep saying this, I honestly believe that he's told his own attorneys that he's guilty. I honestly believe he has. I mean, hell, if he's writing a warden and all that stuff, you can't tell me he hasn't told his own attorneys. And that's why I believe it's all about them and not about him to them. In a minute. Yeah. I doubt they very seriously. I think the Odin stuff's about to wind down here real soon. Because we all know there is a nexus with Keegan Kline and Ron Logan. But proven to be Keegan Kline was in Delphi that day is going to be the problem for the defense. Well, you guys are talking about somebody, whatever you're doing in this chat. Miss Nixon says Indiana is one of the few states that you can buy a home for under $300K, and it is a crack house. How do you know that? Angela Sadowski? Okay, just send me your email, Mel, in Messenger, and I'll get it to you. Oh, you're kind of funny, Voorhees, but I try to keep it down to discussions about other creators on my live, on my channel. Well, I can tell you right now, once he does get convicted and he goes to prison, they're not going to have him mingled in with other inmates. I can tell you that right now. Nobody's heard a peep from his daughter. No one. Miss Gonzalez, good to see you. Yeah, see, I heard that also. That's what I heard. Laura's asking, does anyone know in Indiana laws about can the offenders profit? Yes, they can. They could work a job inside the prison. Prime example, I made this example the other night. Suge Knight from Death Row Records got convicted for murder, and he runs a podcast in prison. 9 times out of 10, when you got to pay restitution, that money goes to the restitution fund. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are something else. Yeah, to me, the last few times it seemed like crocodile tears to me when it came to Kathy. That's just how the impression it was for me. Mr. Newman, good to see you. What up, bro? I wouldn't know, Suffa. I don't live there. Kerry says, I agree with Frank. I think Ari wanted to plead out, but the defense wants to keep the party going. That's how I feel. Look at, I mean, if you're actually in the courtroom, you can see the soap opera right in front of your eyes, the actors, and they want to keep it going. You're correct, Priscilla. Anyway, you look at it, and it's been hell for Kathy, her daughter, and Mill. Their lives will never be the same. You're absolutely correct. Cold Truth says, I get annoyed by the eating shit. How is a human capable of brutally murdering 2 teens? How is a human capable of eating shit? No clue. And like I said, I believe it was all a ploy made up by the defense to make it look like he was crazy. I thought they were closing Westville, or they were getting ready to do a big old renovation up there. I know they're closing Michigan City. Yes, I honestly do. The one reason I believe he does is because when Dr. Waller was called to the stand by his own team, he just kind of looked and was like, damn, he put his head down and started shaking his head like, damn, I don't want her up there. After that, his goose was cooked after her testimony. Keeping eyes peeled. Thank you. The Colts are going to win tomorrow. Yes, they will. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And see, it's just hard to believe that someone would actually eat their own feces. Exactly. I believe it was all made a ploy. Just like the red jumpsuit and the shit down the front of his shirt, I believe it was all done intentionally. You're back on the. How is a human capable of altering an image that we're never supposed to have? By adding horns. No clue other than they are depraved. Agree, Frank. Did anyone think she was dressed a little different? Referred to Joe? I wonder if Dr. Wallace still got a job, honestly. Well, that's the problem, GP, because apparently he does, from all indications, he does not want his family knowing the details or anything of what he did to these girls. Aquarian, good to see you. And Laura is correct. If we have learned patterns over time, the defense has a very loose relationship with the truth, even to the point of spins that Cold Truth talks about. You know, and I had somebody make a comment on a post on YouTube, my community page, a day or two ago, and said, yeah, it's awful funny that the judge is not allowing anything in for the defense, and you got all these corrupt people and witnesses that are not allowed to testify. And I said, first of all, I said, corruption. I said, do you know where corruption starts and where it ends? I said, there is so many agencies that have to be involved. People in the community outside of government would have to be involved to cover up this crime. You guys are just making excuses that just because law enforcement made mistakes in the beginning, you believe these mistakes cost the wrong person to be arrested. And I'll say it again. He's not going to get away on the confessions. He's not going to get around putting himself there. He's not going to get around admitting to being on the bridge. He's not going to get around to run it into the preteens around the Freedom Bridge area. He's not going to get around it. There's no way. Yeah, and I do agree. If the confessions were not allowed in, it'd be a little tougher job for Mick McClellan just because you've only got the bullet then and you've got his words and the preteen's words. Because we don't know what other evidence they have against Richard Allen. All right, let's see. Ginger. Yep, exactly. Ginger says he has the right to remain silent, basically, is what she's saying. All right, guys, do me a favor. Do not talk about other creators in my chat no more, please, because I'm getting messages about it. I'm just letting you guys know I don't want that kind of crap going on in my channel, because then it gives my channel a bad name, and I've come a long way on my channel, and I don't want that happening. Yeah, they've been out of their minds. Yeah, that's what I thought, Louise. I knew that they were being closed. At least one of them. She even though she gets called as a witness to testify, she does not have to testify against her husband, but they can force her to testify to the phone calls. That's all she would basically be testifying to. His confession through the phone calls. Is that you on the other end of that phone call? Is that Richard that's calling you on the other? Questions like that. It's strictly about the phone calls, I would imagine. Yeah, it was funny, Laura. As soon as she got called up and started talking, I just looked at Richard Allen, and he kind of just turned his head and looked down and started shaking his head. Yeah, I think it was all fake myself. I agree, CJK. She's not technically single, guys. Come on now. Be fucking adults here, man. Exactly, crime gesture. Cold Truth says it's more the poor him for eating shit without a second thought of him being capable of murder. It's one thing to wait till it's all out, and a whole another to claim that he is innocent. You guys haven't figured it out yet. It's a game of manipulation. They're trying to manipulate your brain thinking he is being mistreated. It's all an act. Good to see you, Queen of Wasons. They're trying to make him a victim. That's what they were trying to do. Ms. Nixon says Wallet committed an ethical violation that has to be equivalent to a HIPAA violation. I mean, I totally agree, and that makes me wonder if she's still got a job or if she's been suspended or reprimanded or what. Joe Newman says my wife commented KA was dressed in bling jeans, etc. Looks like she was ready to go out. Now, I don't agree. Don't agree whatsoever. I mean, she's got to come to court looking. She comes to court looking presentable. I mean, I agree with that, but I don't think she, from what I've seen, she was not dressed to go out on the town. Aquarian, thank you for joining my channel. It looks like Miss Summers again with another 1999 super sticker. Thank you, ma'am. Greatly appreciated. When it comes to murdered children, I have a great big heart. I'm not saying when adults are murdered, I don't have a heart, but children are different because they're our future. They are our future. Libby could have been a doctor. Abby could have been a veterinarian, you name it. One of them could have been president of the United States. We're never going to get to know now because it was taken all away from them. And once again, Laura, exactly. It's been RA is completely innocent until proven guilty, which I agree with, but he was indicted. We still have to see the evidence, but people make horrid accusations of people in Carroll County. I mean, just from the evidence that we know of right now, he's the man. He is the man. And it took me a while to get there to say that definitely he is the man. He's the man. They were following the social media lead. Well, before that, it was Ron Logan because of the FBI. Then they started following the social media lead with Keegan Klein. I understand it's a double standard, but it's just how our judicial system works. And I believe in the state of Indiana, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. That's just that's just Indiana. I don't follow Skip. He did some dirty shit a couple years ago, and I cut. I mean, I don't want nothing to do with it. Yes, cold truth. Our justice system is flawed. Going through chat, guys. Give me just a second here. You guys got some great questions tonight. You're fine, Louise. It's what we're here for. I know people get tired of me talking about Israel Keys, but that was the person that was talked about in the war room. Well, yeah. You got to put everybody on the table at the beginning in that war room. That's just how it works in a case like this. GP says you have worked so hard for the girls and their families, and we are as your family here. Appreciate you. Well, thank you so much, and I consider you guys my family too. And I love you guys so much. I'm glad you guys come out and hang out with me every night. You know, I try to put the truth and the facts out here, and I try not to go down those conspiracy holes and none of that. You know, I don't follow none of those other channels that go down that route. I refuse to watch them, you know, but one of them today took a picture of one of our buddies, Coach Kev, and put it on his YouTube community page, and I responded and told him he was a fucking idiot. That's what the question will be in the trial. Nick will say, ask her, did you receive a phone call from such and such on such and such day from such and such place? And she'll respond, yes. Is this you speaking to such and such from such and such place on such and such day? And she'll say, yes. He's just going to confirm that it was her and him talking on the phone. That's what defense attorneys do. They're manipulative. I'm reading through. Big Mateo, let's see. Still don't see how Wallach could be involved after the trip to Delphi, deep dives into social media. Whatever she's doing outside of her working hours, there's nothing they really can do. Because at that point in time, we didn't know she probably didn't know she would be called a witness. But once her name got put out there, you sure in the hell seen her get off all of those Facebook groups. Now, that dude, he's a whack job, Mustang. I had run in with him a few years ago. He wanted me to get on the Ron Logan bandwagon, and I told him I wasn't getting on shit until you gave me some proof, physical proof that Ron Logan was involved in this case. And he told me to get fucked and not to ever contact him again. I was like, dude, you were contacting me. Yes, Joe. I made up my mind. He's definitely the man. We're waiting for the rest of the evidence. Exactly. And I most likely won't be even released until trial, if there's even a trial. And I doubt that they'll even, there's going to be a lot of, after this case is completely over, I can guarantee that there's going to be a lot of details of this case that will be sealed to where people can't get their hands on it. Yes, from what I understand, Jason, he's back in Delphi, I believe. because he's got a video just a few days ago, him driving through there. To Barbara McDonald, like I said, she had the last hearing. Hold on. Was at the Supreme Court, and every time she's at a hearing, I stay as far away from her as I can. Good question, Joe. Good question. Susan Hendricks is great, guys. I shouldn't say she's like me because she's been doing this a lot longer than me, but I would have to say I'm kind of like her. She's got to have facts before she puts anything out there. Oh, Barb's been wrong on so many fronts when it comes to this case. No doubt about it. That's why you're not hearing from her, because she knows it. Or she might have a gag on her now because some of the bullshit she was putting out there. Yeah, the same, but let him bury his own shit. She doesn't think RA is guilty. She always thought it was Ron Logan. You're so welcome, Piper's Dream. Coach Kev's a good dude. Got to hang out with him on the last Memorial Walk. We all hung together for a few hours before the Memorial Walk. He sure did. I brought it to Coach Kev's attention just to let him know. Nah, it's not stalking, dude. Fort Pit Bulls likes to mess with a lot of the creators that are for the prosecutor or against Richard Allen, because he's originally from Delphi and he tries to say that Delphi is corrupt because he's been locked up so many damn times. And so now Delphi is so corrupt. I mean, everybody knows that Delphi's had its issues with drugs and situations like that. Merv, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Much appreciated. And thank you. You're welcome. As of right now, and I believe this totally, and that is the reason why Nick McClellan amended these charges, because they dug so far in to see if there was any other actors or anybody else involved. They couldn't find anything, so I believe that's why he amended the charges. Because I do believe he thought there would be somebody else involved. You're correct, SP74, but what if she did it out? Yeah, she did it on company resources, how she did it. Well, she can't excuse her from the case because she was treating Richard Allen. But I'm really surprised that the judge allowed her testimony in after what was said in court at the hearing. Yes, we did, because he's at his shit again. Well, let them keep pushing it. At the end of the day, when the truth comes out and they realize they were wrong the whole time, their foot will be sticking so far out their ass, they're not going to be able to walk anywhere. Yeah, everybody was wrong. How many people were saying this person was BG, this person was BG? Michael Osbrook. What another joke. Laura says, I've grappled with this too, but think about a doctor who is treating an ongoing patient victim of high profile newsworthy accident. If he sees the news and gets invested, does he have to recuse? That's a good question. Maybe Miss Deb might know that. Is she still in the chat? That's a good question for Miss Deb, I believe. Well, of course. Well, he was alive at the time. And I still don't understand Stephanie Robinson's depiction of the crime scene in her report. I don't understand that at all. Completely contradicts what's being said now. Yes. Yes. But honestly, I don't think Nick will ever offer a plea agreement. I just don't think it'll happen. I think Nick would rather see him stand up in court and change a plea before any of that and let the judge decide. Susan Hendricks she's a wonderful person. Melissa Balboa, good to see you. I mean, me and her have had some great conversations, you know. She's teaching me a lot because she's an actual journalist. Well, Indiana's a little bit different, Gibbo. Laura says Susan Hendricks is just as poised and kind in real life as she is on TV. Can you promote her book, Down the Hill, available at Amazon or Barnes Noble? Yes. If you guys, some of you guys don't know who Susan Hendricks is, she's a former journalist, whatever you want to call her, for HLN. And she got to spend quite a bit of time with the family a few years ago, and she ended up writing a book. It's called Down the Hill. It would be greatly appreciated if you guys are interested in buying this book. You can go to Amazon or Barnes and Noble to purchase the book. I think she would have a smile ear to ear if she knew a lot of people here purchased her book. You know, I had Joe corrupt on tax, drugs, politics, but not this. I haven't really dug into Delphi like that to try to get an understanding of what people are talking. I understand the drugs because everybody knows about the drug issues that's going on there or had gone on there. And now it sounds like they're starting to have a CSAM problem there too. The motive, Priscilla. Oh, yeah, the answers will come out about the motive. If there's a trial, the motive will come out. Unless Nick's and if something happens where he changes his plea and the judge decides to sentence him, maybe Nick will do a summary of what took place and what happened, in his opinion. Well, have a good night, Crime Jester. Thank you for stopping in. Exactly, Gail. She said, what town or city doesn't have issue with drugs? Oh my God, you guys. Stop it. Told you, quit talking about the other creators in here. Because I know some of them are watching. Yes. Yes. But you never know what will happen in court. That's the problem. Exactly, and that's what I've been saying. It's blatantly obvious to me they're not doing it. They're not working with Richard Allen. It's all about them. The publicity, possibly book deals, something in that nature. It's blatantly obvious, especially Rosie. He loves the limelight. That sucked, bro. I'm telling you. They looked horrible today, man. It was embarrassing, dude. You're exactly right, Joe. That was embarrassing. Frosty back in here. Yeah, there he is. I don't deal with other than fools. You guys are silly, man. I swear to God. What book? Which one I have? Let me see. I've got one of the books. Let me see. Hold on. I got the book, The Delphi Murder, one of the earlier books that came out. Is what I got. I'm glad you guys came in and hang out. You guys are something else in here. There's corruption all over the place, but it seems to be that a lot of these small towns have more of the corruption. Susan Hendricks is here. Look, you guys. Say hi, guys. Yes, Miss Susan Hendricks, you're a wonderful lady. And like I said, you've been doing this kind of work a lot longer than I have. And me and you talk quite often. And I listen to you and get tidbits from you on the things I need to work on myself, even though you're not directly telling me what I need to work on. But some of the things you discuss with me, it gives me ideas to open my brain even more. Like we were discussing as far as what I was just saying earlier about what if they are trying to get a book deal or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, don't mess with Susan. I'm telling you that right now because then you're going to have a problem. Oh, yeah. We already know. It's where they basically get their information from. Oh, it's Susan. I got your message about what I was talking about when it came to the death penalty. I was reading up on the death penalty and the qualifications for it, and you have to have at least one aggravating circumstance. But according to Indiana law, it has to be intentional murder in order for it to qualify for the death penalty. Oh, they're already doing it over there. They were doing it the other day. I was listening to it talking about how we're working for the prosecutor in LA. They're still on that gig. Yeah, it would be great if you guys would go check out her book, man. Show some support for this lady. Damn, I caught up on the chat. What happened? I can't believe you guys are still up. Like I said, you guys don't mess with Susan. Because I'm telling you right now, she might not seem like it on TV or on YouTube, but she's a little firecracker. Believe that. Believe that. All right, what else you guys want to talk about? Because I'm wide awake. I got my second wind. What else about the case you want to talk about? He wasn't charged with kidnapping, no. He was charged with 4 counts of murder. But what you guys are not understanding is intentional murder means, if you read the definition in Indiana law, intentional murder is typically planned. It's a planned event. This sounds like a last second situation when it came to this case. It seemed, from all indications, it was a planned sexual assault. It went awry. Oh, the Saints at work, and he's over in Europe. Yeah, dude. I retired. I worked in the bars for nearly 25 years, dude. And when I was like 40, in my mid 40s, I retired from it. I mean, it was good money and all, but thank you, Carrie. Greatly appreciated. And guys, don't forget, October 13th, 1:30 p.m. at the Freedom Bridge parking lot, we will be having a prayer walk for Abby and Libby, which would be a day prior to the jury selection starting. So, and like I said last night, the night before, we had about around 50 people. At the last one, I would like to double it if it's possible. Show as much support for the families that we can. She doesn't believe none of it either, Mustang. Not whatsoever. Yes, Randy was talking about it earlier. It's all over the place. Sleuth was doing a live stream, and he was actually had something up there where it was a radio scanner or something and was listening to it. Yeah. I mean, when I go out in public, I carry my gun everywhere. Like I just said, my own opinion of motive, it was a sexual assault that went awry. And I believe that he ended up coming unmasked and the girls recognized him. And there was no way he could let him go if they recognized him. So he had to do what he had to do. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's the mitigating, but they don't name the kidnapping charges on the charging information, though. That's what I think happened. He got recognized somehow. That's what I honestly believe. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that one of them probably tried to run. Something happened in the process, and I do believe that he got unmasked somehow. Robin B says, Frank, remember near the beginning, what was the issue of the shack? It's just wonder what narrative they were trying to get at. I never seen the shack, honestly, but I think he was referring to the gentleman who lost his daughter, and he was trying to give a picture of what the family's going through, of like what the father of that child was going through in the movie The Shack. That's just what I think. I don't know. I've never seen the movie. No. Did I understand correctly? Someone wanted to re-interview Ari's daughter's friends. I heard that they were all interviewed again. Yes, or some of them were. I've only heard. I don't have specific details on that. Well, you guys are flying through this chat here. Early 2020, October 22. You're going to have to refresh my mind. No trolling here. Here's what I want to talk about, Frank. Who was the early October 2022 interview with? You have to refresh my mind. In October, because he was arrested October 26th. I doubt it very seriously, Joe. Because the real guy, the real one, lives in Lafayette. Well, I got word yesterday that they were supposed to drop something by 5 o'clock yesterday, and it never happened. So we're just gonna have to wait and see if it happens on Monday or Tuesday. No, no, Queen. Well, I mean, at that point in time, Louise, yeah, but then again, you got to remember, RA did admit that he felt bad for having to kill Abby. So there's remorse there. It's a possibility. I mean, I just don't see how anybody didn't. Friends, family, somebody. Well, during the early day, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, Kelsey said there was about 20 people out there, but we don't know exactly how many people were out there at that time. But from my understanding, there was basically nobody there by the time the girls got there at that the Mears Lot gate for them to walk to the trail. That was his only way out. If he'd shut them up, no one would ever know. And I heard the same thing about RA asking about his family if they're all right and all that kind of stuff like that. Because you got to remember, man, I mean, the families get tormented too. Not just about what's going on in the courtroom. I'm sure they're being harassed like you wouldn't believe. He will never be in Gen Pop. I'll tell you that right now. Gibbo, never will be in Gen Pop. They don't take too kindly to people that do stuff to children. Queen says, can you get an interview with Ari in jail? Can you ask to get added to the visitors? He's not going to talk. He's been instructed. I'm 100% positive he has been instructed to talk to nobody but them. I just missed something. Where'd it go? I don't know exactly who that is. I don't know exactly who that is. I've heard several different people, one individual, but I don't believe it was him. I've heard it was an employee. So I really don't know, but I do know about the interview with somebody at the AutoZone in Peru. And see, when this case is finally done and over with, I'm going to be hitting the Jordan Sofer case pretty hard. Well, I mean, I tell you what, if the state police wouldn't have did a 360 and started back over, they might have never caught him. All right, guys, it's been an hour and 35 minutes, and we're at 12:30 at night. I appreciate everybody coming out. It's getting late. I want to thank Keep Eyes Peeled for the $5 super sticker, Aquarium for buying a membership, Carrie Summers for the $19.99 super sticker, and Merv for the $20 super sticker. You guys are greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting my live stream tonight. For any of the mods that are still in my chat, thank you so much. Love you guys. And to all you guys in the chat, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting my channel and hanging out. But I'm going to go ahead and end it for the night. But remember, I always got my eyes peeled and my ears open listening to see what's going on and what's coming out. And once I do find out some more information, I'll be right back here. But until next time, guys, you know what time it is. Peace out. One love.